One, life is limited, and so stop tiptoeing around. In 2021, I was playing soccer. I like to play soccer. I made a wrong turn and I ruptured my ACL. I think it's called anterior cruciate ligament. Key ligament in our knees, holding the thigh bone and shin bone together. So it's a super important ligament. So when I ruptured it, my doctor was like, there is no other way apart from us getting into your knee and replacing it, which is like a major surgery. Like it was a major surgery. I'd never done any other big surgery before in my life. I was so scared. And I remember my doctor trying to tell me like, no need to tense, no need to be anxious. We are well-renowned surgeons and you'll be fine. We do these ACL repairs all the time. And I was trying to be calm. But also at the same time, just the day before I went into the surgery, he was giving me this form, which I think everyone, if you go into a surgery, you have to sign those forms. And when I was signing those forms, there was somewhere in the little fine print that this is not 100%. We are not giving you 100% assurity that things will go well. Like occasionally, there is a 0.5% or whatever it was. I can't remember the statistics, but it was a tiny number. Like, I don't know, 0.5% chance that if you say, for instance, travel or take a flight before your knee is healed after the surgery, you might develop a blood clot. The blood clot might travel to your heart and you might die. Or maybe your knee might not come back to life, like it might be paralyzed if you don't do like proper post-surgical rehabilitation, etc. So anyway, it was going through this, like there is a 99% chance that things will be fine, but also there is a little chance that things might go wrong. And I remember just thinking, oh my God, I might lose my leg. And I made a decision that when I get out of the surgery, I will appreciate my leg more. And so anyway, so it's been years later. And I was just thinking the other day, I was taking a walk. So occasionally now I take like random long walks, like 3 hours, just randomly walking around. And one of my friends was asking me, why do you walk so much? And I remember just thinking, I almost lost my leg at one point in my life. And so now I don't take it for granted. When I all those little steps every day, like when I walk, I just remember that one day there was a chance that my leg was going to be paralyzed or whatever. And so I've never appreciated my legs until after that surgery. And so I was reflecting so much about the hands, the eyes, the ears, the youthful energy that we take for granted. And we forget that all these things will go away. And so with all your organs that God has given you, your eyes, your hands, your voice, your youthful energy, something that I'm now learning in my 30s, that it goes away. I'm not as energetic as I was in my 20s. And that is a painful reality that I'm learning almost late in life. And so that youthful energy you have, all those organs, the voice that God has given you, the strength, everything, use them to the maximum. Live life boldly. Take risks. Unleash your talents and your passion. Bring all of that to the world, because we are not here forever. Life is limited. So stop tiptoeing. Number 2, you will never arrive. There is no destination. This is the saddest reality that sadly took me over 30 years to learn. This is what happened. So I went through my academic journey, which I call it now, it was an academic race of some sort. Like I went to primary school, then you complete your primary school, the next destination or the next part of the race is secondary school, then you complete your secondary school, you go to university, you get your degree, and hopefully you go for your postgraduate. And I did all that. I even after the PhD, I was like, let's continue. Like, let's just figure out if there is anything else in this academic race. I even did post-PhD. And do you know, towards the end of my post-PhD, I was reminded, sadly, that, hey, Gladys, congratulations, you've done really well in this academic race. But then now you have to figure out your career. What do you want to do? What kind of job do you want to do? What kind of career do you want to be in? And I was kind of just starting again from zero, figuring out the career race. And before I even figured out the career race, as you know, as adults, if you don't have trust fund, you have to also figure out finances and wealth creation, which was like starting from zero again. Like, how do people create wealth? and sustain? How do you manage your finances? That was another race that I had to figure out. And heck, before I even figured all those, society and everyone around me is telling me you are getting old. Can you figure out where you will get a husband and start having kids? That is another race of going into parenthood. I have to figure out. At some point in our lives, we have to figure out. So sadly, this month of May, while I was doing deep reflection, I was just realizing that there is no destination. We are always racing. It's one race after another race after another race, maybe until we die. And so I realized that you need to figure out as you continue in the... So number one, just know that there is no destination. Number two is you figure out, because there is no destination, pretty much it's like a marathon. So you cannot hold or leave behind the most important things in your life. Things like mental health, things like your health, things like happiness and contentment and satisfaction. You cannot pack those things. You cannot put them on a shelf and then sprint, thinking that you will sprint and then come and pick those things from the shelf and continue. There is no sprinting. It's a marathon. It's one race after another race. And so the challenge that I'm now telling myself or giving myself, and the challenge that I want to pass to you guys, is that understand that there is no destination. We are always racing. We will race forever. So list or understand top things in your life that are super important and do not put them aside. Things like your health, things like your happiness, things like contentment. Make sure you are, as you go through the race, make sure you are journeying with those things. Wherever you are, whatever stage you are in life, right now, there is something surely, wherever you are, that you can do to ensure that you are wholesome, that you are happy, you are satisfied, you are content, even as you continue racing, even as you continue wanting more, desiring more, working for more. So just make sure that wherever you are, you design or intentionally seek happiness, contentment, and satisfaction, because no destination. We will forever be racing. Number 3, opportunities are with people. So this is a phrase that I'm stealing from one of my guests that I interviewed here on the podcast. And I was asking them, I like to ask my guests at the end to name one lesson that stands out in their lives so far. And this guest, Omai Joseph, mentioned that opportunities are with people. And that really deep. And I kept thinking about it so much. And I realized that many things in my life, they've happened because of people. Like someone mentioned about something, and then that is how I got to know about that thing. And that is how I got that opportunity. So case in point, number 1 is isfit, ISFIT. This is a very good opportunity for students. So if you're in school, undergrad or grad school, make sure you check it out. It's a biannual conference in Norway. It's called International Students Festival in Trondheim in Norway, isfit. So one time in undergrad, I was chatting with my housemate, just like a random chat. And I was curious and I asked her, I see you taking any beverage in this cup. Like you really like this cup. And it's, where did you get this cup? And then what does isfit mean? It was written isfit, I think, or was it Norway? I can't remember. But I remember her telling me about isfit. That is how I learned about isfit. And then that year I ended up applying. And I ended up being selected to attend the 2013 isfit in Norway. Changed my life, really. That was my first international travel out of Kenya. And my mind did not remain the same. And it was an opportunity that my housemate, my roommate in campus mentioned. So if I had not started the conversation with the roommate, I would not have known about isfit. I would not have traveled to Norway. And maybe my mind would not have been challenged, or I would not have known that it's actually possible to travel out of Kenya. Number 2 is the RhodesScholarship. So I got RhodesScholarship when I was in my final year of undergrad, and it was through a friend, a classmate who was actively applying for scholarships. He knew that he wanted to go out of Kenya to study for postgrad. By that time, I wasn't very sure. And I remember one day telling me about RhodesScholarship, and he was telling me, I think in our class, you are the only one with a very high chance of winning, because you can show they have like certain criteria. And so my friend was telling me, like, you can literally easily demonstrate all these criteria they are looking for, eligibility criteria they're looking for, so easily, and I think you might win it. Anyway, Anyway, long story short, I tried. I didn't believe that I was going to be even shortlisted. So I was shortlisted finally and I got the scholarship. I would not have gotten the Rhodes Scholarship were it not for that friend of mine to mention and to nudge me constantly to give it a try anyway. And so in your life, I'm now learning in my 30s that even hard work alone is not enough. So I'm now learning to, in addition to working hard and doing everything on my own, to actively seek opportunities to genuinely connect with other people, learn what they are doing, learn what they are up to in life, and also volunteer. Tell them what you are doing. So nowadays, when I'm in a social event, I tell people I have this podcast where I host young professionals to share their lives and career journey. And then occasionally someone will be like, oh, wow, that is really cool. I know so-and-so who might be a great guest in your podcast. Literally, I don't know, around 10 guests actually I've hosted just because of that, just because of those referrals. So opportunities are with people, especially goes to guys in your 20s, in undergrad, while you are in school, wherever you are, just know that that degree alone is not enough. Take advantage of the university setup where there are thousands of young people are all around you to genuinely connect with other people, know them genuinely. Number 4, you will never be ready. So just start. Let me give an example of this podcast. So every year I try to pick one skill that I will work on throughout the year, so that at the end of the year, if I don't achieve anything else, I'll be proud to have at least something that I tried, even if I failed. But at least I'll say I tried this thing or I acquired this kind of skill. So in 2024, I wanted, for some reason, out of nowhere, I consume a lot of podcast and YouTube actually, more than I'm willing to confess. But I had never thought that I can be a creator, like I can be a podcaster, sharing stories online. But then in 2024, that seed came in my mind. And you know, if the universe or God or whoever you believe in, if they've given you, put in your mind and in your soul, that thing that you need to do or unleash for the world, you will never rest. Like it will not give you peace. You will always be reminded that you are supposed to start that business. You're supposed to do A, B, C, D. So that voice, silent, whispering voice, incessant, it refused to leave me. So finally I was like, okay, let me attempt. I don't know where this will go, but let me just make one video. Let me make the second video, the third and the fourth, and just see where this goes. Now we are 1 year and 3 months here on YouTube doing this podcasting thing, and it's been life-changing. I wasn't ready. I constantly felt like I'll be criticized. I don't have equipment. Like I told you, this microphone arrived last week, actually. So the whole of 1 year, I was using these, I don't remember how much I bought at, actually. I think 1,000 Kenya shillings, which is $10 or less. So I remember thinking, I even don't have proper equipment. I don't have proper audio equipment. I don't feel like I'm a proper, I don't know, I don't sound or appear like a YouTuber or a podcaster. You know all those excuses we give, right? I wasn't ready. But then at some point, the voice was just too much. And I decided, yeah, let's just start and see where this goes. I had ideas for the first 5 episodes. Was it 5 to 10? And I was like, let me just do this. I don't know. After the 10th episode, if I don't get anything else to say on the internet, I'll just let it go. Now we are at almost 70 episodes. Where those other episodes came from, I am not aware. I do not know. I just know that I started. So whatever you want to do, that project, that little whispering voice is telling you to start, and you feel like you are not ready, believe me, you are actually very ready. You are ready. If you wait for the confidence, if you wait for the equipment to come, if you wait for the money to be ready, if you wait for everything to align, you will waste so much time and the opportunities will be long gone and you will be late. So whatever that project is, start today, start tomorrow. You can even start, just make a social media page today and announce to people that, hey guys, there is something dropping very soon. Keep an eye on this page. Just start something. Just make one little baby step and you just never know. The rest will just align and before you know it, you are making a lot of progress. So those are 4 lessons that I feel like I'm sadly learning a little bit late in life, and hopefully you can learn from these lessons. Until the next episode, goodbye.